Hello everyone, today I want to share with you how I got diagnosed with autism at the ripe old age of 32. I'm gonna try to summarize it, okay? I got burnout from my last corporate job, so I went to the psychologist, and after like a year of going to the psychologist, she said, you know, you're still sad, I think you would need maybe an antidepressant. So I ended up visiting a psychiatrist to, see if I need an antidepressant. And the first meeting with a psychiatrist, it was essentially an autism questionnaire, which I was really confused at this point because I thought I was there for an antidepressant. She explained to me that it is important to know if you're neurodivergent before giving you an antidepressant because you might be more sensitive to it, which I did not know, so I was just there like flabbergasted, like, because it was like really obvious, okay? They were like, so did you have very special intense interest when you were a kid? Do you have problems with eye contact? What do you think of small talk? Like, it was so obvious it was an autism questionnaire. In the moment I was in shock, but the next session I was like, I was really confused because I thought I was coming here to see if I was like super sad, and you made me an autism questionnaire. And she's like, yeah, well, she explained to me it's because you might be extra sensitive to the medication if you're neurodivergent. And then I told her, well, but my main issue is that I'm very sad, so she gave me an antidepressant. I've been taking it for 6 months and actually really happy about it, as I talked with you guys in a video previously. But like, then she told me, maybe after seeing the first questionnaire, maybe you should check if you have autism. So I thought, you know what, why not? But I had this naive hope. On the one hand, I have always felt weird, but on the other hand, from my perspective, I'm the normal one and everybody else is like really weird, right? So I thought, you know what? Yes, this is going to prove I am normal and everybody else is wrong, and I just need a new strategy around medication and my life is going to be easy, which obviously did not happen, clearly, because we're filming this video here today. But I had that hope. I had a secret naive hope that it was going to prove I was normal. So no, it just proved I had autism, which is really hard because technically having a diagnosis when you're an adult, if you're highly functional like I am, is supposed to help you accept yourself and know yourself better. But my first impression of having it is that it just feels like a seal on a verdict that I will never be normal and life will always be extra hard for me, which I feel nobody talks about. They talk about other things, but not about this in particular. So that's how I got the diagnosis. I went to I went to the psychiatrist more to, talk about my experience and stuff and, like confirm. And there's technically another test I can do to confirm, just in case I ever want to, say at work, hey, I need accommodations or something, which it's not a whole other topic, but I hate that. Like, imagine. So my last corporate job was like this open space. Everybody has their place to sit down, but everybody sits wherever they want and they can change seats and whatever, which I hated because I just want to have my seat because not everybody goes to work on the same day, and I just like worry the whole time, okay, what in the next shift which overlaps with mine, or somebody's just arriving late, or they're just like drinking coffee down the hall and I need to move and find another seat which might be occupied by somebody coming in the middle of the day because they have another shift. I hated it. But because there's always people that just like to have their seat, so I could say like, hey, that's like my seat, and it was like, okay, fine, whatever. But like, why would I need a medical diagnosis to have a fixed place to sit down at work or to wear headphones if I could, because it does not make a difference for the work I do to wear headphones? Like, I hate that. I hate that I would need to ask for things that I believe are completely reasonable given most job positions, but you need to like prove medically that they will help you, and then still they are not obligated to let you do them. I think it's a power play dynamic thing in corporate, in jobs. I think it's stupid and I hate it, and I hate that I would ever need to actually take a report from my psychiatrist to ask for things like that. But anyways, so there is this other test called ADOS that I can do to double guarantee I'm autistic in case I ever want to do that, and I have like extra proof that I could request, that I have a basis to request accommodations, which I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet. I need to ask the cost and stuff, but anyways, that's how I got diagnosed at 32. And it's been really hard for me because I always had this hope that, you know, I'm just introverted, I'm just shy, whatever. If I just get out of my comfort zone and try hard enough, I'm gonna have a normal life, which my psychiatrist said, oh, it's not that you're not normal. I'm like, of course, girlie, of course. That's how it works in practical terms, even if it's not true in medical terms, you know what I mean? Now I am trying to, you know, figure out new strategies and stuff, because one thing I have realized is that I don't know if it's the diagnosis, the burnout, the depression, or a combination of all of these, because it's not the first time I have burnout in my life, is that it could also be age, because I'm 32, but every year, every time, every day, I am less and less willing to put up with BS. Like, every time I send a CV and they're like, tell us why you want to work with us. I am passionate about working in a call center, obviously. I can't, you know I'm lying. I know I'm lying, you know I'm lying, everybody knows we're lying. I just can't with BS. So I am trying to build something here on social media so I can eventually have like my own business and not have to deal with that, because some people are okay with that. I am not okay with the BS. Like, I need to understand why I have to do things, and I want things to make sense at some level, and incorporate, they don't, and in many social situations they just don't. Honestly, I do not feel the diagnosis is currently leading me to self-acceptance. Like, it doesn't change the reality, and I've been checking online all these strategies. Okay, autistic women diagnosed late, blah blah blah, what do you do? And people are like, oh, steam freely, which steaming is like, it's hard to explain. Like, you know how you see all these people playing with sensory toys and just like, you know, releasing emotions through movement, something like that, I would say. And just stop masking, which means stop trying to fake the social stuff, the micro expressions and everything. And I don't know, overall I have always been perceived like very shy and introverted, so I have never, so obviously I was masking, but I have never felt I could like just like stop trying to appear, let's call it normal. At the same time, whenever I do my best to, you know, do a small talk and do like, hi, how are you? Oh my god, girlie, so long I haven't seen you. Oh, we need to hang out for coffee sometime, yes? I'll send you a message. I can do that, but like, there is something underneath. Like, I feel like I am this robot that is trying to look human, but it is not. And people, no matter how well I do my act of being human, other people can somehow subconsciously tell I am not, and that is like, and that does not allow me to have like normal social interactions and work normally in the world, because no matter how well I play the human act, people can somehow tell I am not like them. And it's just really hard, because it's like, oh, stop masking. Like, well, like, it doesn't even work. But if I don't do the human play, it's even worse, because you're supposed to do it. I don't know. Anyway, it's just like really complicated. I don't really know what to do with the diagnosis yet. I also check more stuff, more like advice from people in my situation online, and I don't know, I feel it's just like very, oh, steam freely, stop masking, be your true autistic, authentic self. Like, what does that even mean? I don't know. So yeah, I don't really know what to do with it. I am trying to find jobs that are not call centers, so I don't burn out again, at least not from that. But even that is just really hard. I am trying to, well, I bought all these sensory toys to try to see if they help me, and they're really nice. They're like a spa session for my brain, but they're not exactly solving my life, you know what I mean? It's just really hard and weird. I do have felt that I have more interest in things I had when I was a teen, particularly, which is interesting, but also could also be the antidepressant. So I am like really into Boruto now. I love Naruto and I'm really into Boruto. Aside from going back to my interests and, you know, not being ashamed of certain things and trying to adapt to my natural energy rhythms, especially outside, especially noise sensitivity, especially socialization, which I've already tried to do beforehand, but people were just like, oh my gosh, you need to socialize. And they're still now, they're just, oh, you need to socialize. I'm like, but I'm not having fun here. I'm not having fun. Like, well, you need to keep trying, and eventually if you repeat the same thing that you hate, enough times, you'll like it. At least now I can say, hey, the doctor said no, but I don't know, I'm just very confused and I don't know how it's gonna go and I don't know what to do with it. And I always thought diagnoses were supposed to give you like clarity, but I do not feel clarity regarding this like at all. But yeah, this is everything. This is super short because the diagnosis is very recent and I am still like trying to work through it. I will do an update down the line to see how it goes. But yeah, if you're in this situation, let me know your experience, if we can like learn tips from each other on how to survive better. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.